He's so soft spoken. He's not a loud fuck like I am.
Yeah, you are a loud fuck. I don't know why that mic feels a little bit better. That feels pretty good.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't have any issues with
that feels good.
Yeah, but I'm a loud fuck, so.
Yeah, you loud fuck.
I'll take that title.
Cheers. Loud fuck. Love you. Cheers, King. It's good to see you, man. It's been a minute. What, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I couldn't make the last one.
Yeah.
Backpacking Uwari.
How'd that go?
It was fine. We had 37 scouts. I drove the bus there.
Ooh.
Luckily, I had a backup driver. I agreed to drive at night. We left here at 5:30, so we got there at like 9:30. Mm-hmm. Then we backpacked about a mile and a half to our campsite.
That night,
dude. Yeah, we got to the campsite that we normally always use. We got there, the parking lot was full, so that was a bad sign. And it's first come, first serve.
Sure.
So the one the one that Troop always uses. We got there at 11 o'clock at night, 11:30, and there was people already tense up, and we got 37 kids that are loud and it. I mean, people were popping their heads out of the tent, telling us to move on and shut the hell up at these 10, 11, 12-year-old.
So nice.
Well,
dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, we pushed past them a little bit and found a good spot not too far. I didn't lay in my hammock until 1:30.
Dude,
to help all the kids get their stuff set up. That's
when you strike a match on the upwind side of the other campers. You say, "Give us just a minute, and we'll have plenty of spots."
Mm-hmm. It was fun. It was cold that night. I got a pretty cool hammock set up. I got insulating underquilt and rain fly, and I was okay. It was a little cold, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but then it was perfect Saturday night, and we did a big hike Saturday, and then hiked back out Sunday.
I can only imagine. You said it was a little cold. I would have been a popsicle and dead.
It was 36, 37 degrees.
Froze to death.
Yeah.
Melissa went camping with Andrew for scout camp this past weekend, and it was 31 degrees Saturday night.
No. I'm good as long as I'm prepared for that. But
she is. She's real good. We have those big reflective emergency type blankets. We got ground moving pads, the big thick ones that you can put movers use. We'll put that in the floor to insulate it. And she had the air mattress, and her and Andrew's, we have a double sleeping bag that was just sleeping, and she'll take the emergency blankets and suspend it right over the bed, so it cuts the tent in half. So that's what kills you. You go family camping, you got these 8-man tents, 12-man tents that are as tall as this room. You lose all your heat.
Right.
Yeah. That's why we have backpacking tents that we use for the troop, because it insulates you pretty good. It's not that bad.
Sure.
But yeah,
I didn't know that part about the volume. It makes sense.
That everybody uses air mattresses. That saps your heat. That's like sitting on a block of ice because all that air is getting cold.
Damn it.
Yeah. So there's things you can do, like the moving blankets help to insulate the ground from sapping that. And there's not much you can do about an air mattress. You just have a good sleeping bag, cover it with something.
Yeah. I'm pretty limited on my camping, but Dad took a load of chips, wood chips, out to the property. And we, made little body spots. It was so warm. We were opening up everything and trying to get airflow, because you ever seen that? Wood chips, they're decomposing pretty fast.
Right, so they're producing their own heat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
exothermic.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, but when you're going all the way to Uwari, you're not taking a load of chips.
No.
Yeah.
We do teach kids stuff like that, though.
Yeah.
Like insulating leaves on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Because for one of the camping merit badges, they have to go out, create a shelter, and sleep in it at night with just a sleeping bag, maybe a ground pad, and a pillow.
We had to do the same thing in land search class.
Yeah.
You have to do the same thing, but you don't get any of that. You get a tarp and a certain length of paracord, and that's what you get. So
how about that?
Yeah, I think you could bring a sleeping bag, because I had a sleeping bag, because otherwise I would still be in the woods, frozen popsicle. Yeah. What's that movie?
Like the end of The Shining, with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. There was another movie where it might have been Everest or something like that, where they passed one of the hikers that was still frozen in the ice. That would be me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so weird that there's bodies are there, and that's their trail markers. Well, there's Fred. He died 30 years ago, still preserved, perfectly frozen. Yeah, that's just that's the Sherpas. That's what they use as their trail markers.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're all up there. Can't take them out.
Ain't nobody thought about chipping them bastards away?
They're perfectly preserved.
Dude, that's crazy.
You know what? I mean, that's kind of a cool. It's like a living memorial to you. Like you died. It sucked, but
I wonder if they
you're there perfectly preserved.
Like giving an indication.
Yeah, could they have died pointing the right way? Or maybe they could have been repositioned after. Like, well, Fred's obviously not going anywhere.
Oh, he's gone. Quick, move him.
Yeah.
Uncle Mike would have changed it to...
A scowl and a unruly look on your face like...
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, dude.
37 youngins.
30, that was a lot. That's the biggest group we've had, but we haven't, they don't normally go every year, but last year we obviously didn't do it, so there's 2 groups of kids that needed to go, plus some older boys that we had. Yeah.
Did Eric Moon go with you?
He's not my troop.
Oh, okay, I got you. I heard him talking about some kind of big trip like that, so I didn't know if it was the same.
No, he's not my troop.
Does his youngins do scouts?
I don't know. Yeah.
Might be a time thing. He's always camping anyway.
Yeah,
that dude's on the go.
He's a survivor.
He is. He's something. Dude's always on the go. Going to Alaska and whatnot.
Yeah, it's cool to hear his stories on those Alaska trips.
Yeah. Get him in here and listen to some of them stories.
That's a great idea.
For sure.
So what do you do with 37? Like, do you set up like a grid like you're a battalion?
No. So, troop method's boy led. So the leaders are more of guides. You got older boys that are in charge. And so they got a problem. They're supposed to go through them. It's kind of tough with my son because he's just constantly coming to me wanting to do stuff. I'm like, stop. No, I'm not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're dying, cool. I got you. But
right.
Go to the older boys. Yeah. So they take care of them. They make the schedule. They, make the announcements, lead everything. And we're there as make sure kids don't die. Make sure they don't get lost.
Is that part of their project?
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, as you grow, like certain rank requirements, like as you get into the higher ranks, then there's leadership requirements.
Okay.
So it's you have your patrol. It's called the patrol method. So you have your patrol, you have a patrol leader. Then at the troop level, you have kids that are assistant, like quartermasters. Then you have the assistant patrol leaders, and then the senior patrol leader is the highest kid in there, and he reports to the scoutmaster. And then I'm an assistant scoutmaster, so I basically go and they have stuff to get checked off on. So they'll come to me like, hey, I want to get checked off on these knots. So I'll just go out and sit down with them, verify that they know it. They usually get tested on it with the kids beforehand, and then whenever they're ready for rank advancements, I'll do what's called a scoutmaster conference, where we kind of go through everything in that rank and make sure they can proficiently say it. Proficiently do it.
That's awesome.
Me and Pops have talked about doing some public land like hunting trips, which it would. I mean, that's what it would involve is backpacking and going into the backcountry and all that kind of stuff. We just hadn't taken the opportunity to do. I'm not gonna say we haven't had the opportunity. We just hadn't taken it. And I don't know. I think that part would be kind of fun. I just get nervous, dude, because like I know how big the elk was that I killed this year, and I can't. There's guys that do it all the time, and they live for it. But I can't imagine trying to pack that thing out. And it depends on where you're at. They have different rules that apply as far as, like, for Virginia is a good example. They have an elk season up there that's open to non-residents. But you have to have, like, the carcass intact because it has to be tested by Game and Fish.
Why?
Disease and stuff like that, yeah. Chronic waste disease is a big thing.
Dude, those videos of chronic waste is nuts.
That's a big thing in the wild game industry. So they have to be tested, and you can leave the gut pile and mark it on GPS and then send that in, and then some might require you to leave the carcass intact and this and that. So it's weird, but I mean, can you imagine if you had to gut a 750-pound animal and then attempt to somehow manage to get that out of a 10-mile side of a mountain? I don't know how you would do it.
That's wild to even think about.
To have a team.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to quarter it up. But see, I don't know. I don't know what the rules would say. What's considered a full carcass? Does it have to be intact, or can you quarter it? Or I don't know. So there's a lot of hoops to jump through to try to figure those things out before you can just go out there and,
Yeah.
the last thing you'd want to do is go out there and spend all this time and all this effort to get an animal and then go about it the wrong way and get back to the truck and the game warden be sitting there and he'd take it from you. Because they will.
Yeah.
They will absolutely take it from you right then and write you a fat ticket.
Yeah.
So that would be incredibly discouraging. So that part makes me nervous about going to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I can see why.
Yeah, it's different if it's a 150-pound whitetail. We just put that bad boy in the Mystery Ranch backpack and get on about our business. But, yeah,
Is there testing like that for deer as well?
I'm sure there is. And
Well, that's what it affects them too.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I'm sure there is in some parts of the state. Down around here, we don't have to worry about it so much. Of course, I don't know that we have a CWD disease problem around here like they do other places.
Lucky us.
I don't know if it's just because we got a lot of cattle and stuff too. I don't know. It's just we never had much of a CWD thing around here, chronic waste disease.
Yeah, I'm unaware. What is it?
It's one that makes them like zombies, isn't it?
It is. It's where
Almost like leprosy, like
excuse me,
like they're dying, like they look like zombies. They're dying, and they're
start decomposing from the inside
they
out.
start
basically.
decomposing. Yeah, and then eventually it starts affecting the brain to where they start doing like just their behaviors.
Yeah,
real
they
weird.
go nuts, kind of go AWOL, go weird. But it comes from them. I'm sure I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to tell you the best that I can remember. But it comes from being around and eating things that were around decomposing carcasses. So,
Okay.
You see what does that kind of make sense? Like a polluted water source that, an animal could die in, which happens all the time. Whitetails die in water. I'm not going to say it's rare, but it's not really uncommon to find
It's some form
whitetails.
of bacteria or
Yeah,
something, organism that
basically.
gets in there.
But we've not had a big problem with it here. Michigan's got a huge problem with it, like bad. Like
What, up in the Yoopers, the upper part?
yeah, and it's filtering on down. I'm sure I could probably take about 5 minutes on Google and figure out a lot more about it. But they, I know up there in Michigan, they got a pretty substantial issue with it. Like almost, I think it's like 1 out of every 2 animals is affected by it, and that makes the meat not edible. Like you can't eat it.
Yeah.
So if I can't eat it, I don't want to kill it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Unless you were just controlling that disease, like if you could box it in.
yeah, but what do you do with it?
Yeah, incinerate it.
I guess.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave it out because then other animals come
It's
around.
just
Yeah.
you're compounding the problem then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess you have to incinerate it. When you talk about a wildlife population, though, that's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of animals. It's not like a pound. You got or something with rabies. You can kill that one, and that's the end of it. So it's a big problem. I'm glad we ain't got to worry about it here.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. So far, we don't have to worry about it here.
In my head, I just heard that. Remember South Park, the hunter guy? We got to thin out their numbers.
It's coming right for us.
Yeah.
Shoot him.
Yeah, I hope to do that in the future, though. I want to do that for Pops gets to the age where he can't move around in the mountains very well.
Mm-hmm.
How
I
old is
think
he?
it'll be fun. Oh, God, don't give me lines. 70 and some change, something around in there. He's still getting around really good, though. So,
Yeah. Speaking of Pops, dude, Dad's back.
that's great.
Yeah, he's healthy. Most people know he had COVID and was sick for a while, but he's doing great. He's back climbing trees and playing softball, complaining about things.
Such a beast.
Back to normal.
Back to normal. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It was a rocky road there for a little
Yeah.
while. Yeah, I'm super happy.
He was a sick individual, that's for sure.
But he's he's a walking testimony of, you can get it and beat it.
Yeah.
Even though you're that age. Now I get it. The hunt blood's a little different. So
Yeah.
it's
There's a
definitely
little
different.
titanium mixed
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever Wolverine's made out of.
Right. Adamantium.
Adamantium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great that he's back at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels good.
Has he gone on tree jobs or still
Yeah.
taking it easy?
Yeah, he's not like 100%, but he can climb, and he's driving and running the equipment and loading tractors, and he's doing it. He's delegating a lot more but he'll get his endurance back. I was really wanting to stay with him until I got him back, but it's gonna be a long haul to
Sure.
get like that endurance back. But
You got him to where he can do it himself a little bit.
his strength is back. He's doing push-ups and exercising. He's got this assault bike that he rides. Yeah,
I'm trying to
He's
get
doing
those for
good.
all the stations. It's in my master plan.
bro, it's magic.
Dude, that thing,
Yeah,
it's the best, worst machine on the planet.
yeah.
See, the best, worst.
Best, worst machine on the planet.
Yeah.
Dude, God bless it. That assault bike is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for him. Does he switch back and forth between lower body and upper body with
Yeah.
that thing? That's perfect for him, dude. That's
Yeah.
great.
We talked about it and getting him when we got him from the hospital home. He couldn't sit up.
Sure.
Like if he was laying down, it's because you laid him down. If he was upright, it's because you made him upright. And we kept the bike like in the room, and that was the goal, was to get to be able to sit on the bike. And it took weeks, but we got him there, and he knew, if I can get on that bike and be upright and ride, and then he would switch, like you're saying, he put his feet up and just do upper body and
Yeah.
let them wear out. Then he'd pedal some, but that's a large part of why he's back on his feet.
That's great. There's a lot to be said about that.
Mm-hmm.
How's his mind with all this? Is he?
Yeah, dude, he was tough in the early parts. He didn't believe that he could be well. He was so sick, and so you can imagine so many years on the planet doing things exactly the way you want to do them, and then so weak that you can't sit up. So he got down. I think there's like a common term for spending some time in a hospital, and then what is that? Like, it's not official, but like people call it like hospital delirium or something like that.
Yeah. There's like I know like ICU, like they call it ICU psychosis.
Yeah.
Because Melissa would say it all the time, because you're constantly being woken up.
Yeah.
You're getting checked on every hour, even at night, and the machines are beeping, and everything's going, because there's so much beeping and stuff going on in ICU that you're just barely sleeping.
Yeah, I use that as a source of humor for him in those first few days. I would come in to see him, and I'd make those sounds like the dong, and he would look at me. He was so happy to be away from that stuff, but it took a little while. He could not control his emotions. Like just a normal conversation, if there was any peak in emotion, he'd cry, like spontaneously. It was so weird to see him because he's never been like the emotional. He would never do that in front of anybody.
Sure. I mean, he's such an active guy that was a complete 180.
Sure.
So that's going to mess with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, now he's gotten control of his emotions, and he's active and back. Like, he feels good. He talks normal now, and but yeah, that mental game was a big part of it. Yeah.
When did y'all decide to take him to the hospital? When was that? That was approximate.
Yeah, August, mid to late August.
Mid to
You're
late
right.
August.
Yep.
So that put. So you basically didn't go back to work from Safer,
Correct.
basically, which was August, right? Wasn't
Yeah,
that in
middle of August.
Middle of August.
Yep.
So so you've been off for quite a stint.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still not back. First day back tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to know your boys are.
Yeah.
Dude, what's that been like for you?
It's
Have you had the itch and the something about it? And I totally understand it. It's all about the people that you work with and the atmosphere that you're around. I get that, but there's something about it. After about 10 days maximum, I'm like, I need to get back to work.
yeah.
Or just, I don't know if it's just a habit from, so many years of doing it and that sort of thing. But what's that been like for you?
I'd like to know if it's the same for everybody,
Sure.
but I went through wanting to get back so bad early, and then maybe it was because the duty was so strong, like working with Dad every day.
Sure, yeah.
It took my focus, but it was like the fire department kind of disappeared and just drifted into
Kinda faded.
Yeah, and it was just focused, time to be focused on this task, and then I think it might be a healthy thing to get away for a minute. I feel like there's been a reset mentally. Things that get on your nerves, things that any of the negatives feel like they've washed away, and now I'm just looking forward to going back to work and focusing on like the job, you know. So
Yeah. I wonder if it's the correlation of just the human nature, the creature of habit, and then you break that habit, and then it's the kind of the withdrawal of the habit, I guess you could say. But then once you kind of get through that withdrawal, it's like, it's not so awful.
Yeah.
Or something. I wonder.
Yeah, I was at a situation. The original identified time frame is due now.
Sure.
You know, and there was an option to extend a little bit and try to help him do more. And I was kind of doing the math on it. It's like, in the beginning, he needed assistance. You know?
Holy Jesus.
Man, there was a car wreck right here beside me. Yeah, poor Mike. So,
This guy's cheap.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. He needed me in the beginning. And then now I'm sure I could be useful, but it's time to get back, get everything back. And I think it's good for him, too, to get back to where he's not having somebody assist him every day.
Sure, yeah.
You know?
I'm sure the more he gets able to do things on his own, the less that he wants you around for that reason.
Yeah.
Sure, there's tons of other
It's like we're
reasons.
taking the training wheels off.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you left, Jeremy, when you left shift work and kind of went into school full steam, how did that feel with you? I'm just trying to draw correlations. He posed the question. He wonders if everybody's the same. Whereas, I feel 10 days or so after I've been off shift, I can start getting that itch, like I need to get back to work, or I want to get back to work. And he said he felt the same thing for a little while, and then it kind of went away. Is it just a break in the habit, or
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, I don't feel like I miss the people, and I miss
Sure.
coming to work, and I still get it every once in a while. But I'm so busy with school that I just shifted my focus to something else, and I don't know.
That word, focus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was weird for a little bit,
I'm sure.
but then now it's my normal.
Yeah. New routine.
I feel weird going back to work. I'm like, especially going back around the captain seat. I'm like, man, I can rent in the seat and forever.
Right.
Like probably more people qualified now. It's like, you guys might want to take this over. I don't know.
How did you get you there? Y'all do
Yeah.
the rest.
That's why I like going to Rocky Point and just drive.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting back.
Yeah. We'll be glad to have you back. That's for sure. I'm sure some of the other captains will be mad because less overtime for them. But
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty consistent overtime spot.
Yeah. For a little while. For a little while. August. This is what we figured. Mid-August.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
That's when we got it.
August 4th was the last day I worked before Safer.
Wow.
And then I worked a 12-hour shift
Post-safer.
post-Safer, and that was it.
Interesting.
Yep. I thought Dad was like on the up and up, so
Yeah.
I came back to work, and he slid backwards quite a bit.
Yeah. I
And was
remember
like,
the
all right.
conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky. I hadn't had any of my family had any terrible bouts with it. I think most all of them. I mean, we've been into this how long now? 2 years.
Yeah.
Getting right at 2
Yeah.
years. Probably we've all had it in some way, shape, fashion, or form. But nobody. I think my sister had a pretty decent bout with it, but nothing past like flu symptoms. She's fine. Pops is leaving. He left today and went to Africa. So yeah.
Man, that's outstanding.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's not abnormal for him. Yeah, he leaves the country at least a few times a year. So yeah, he's gone for a while, but he hadn't had any issues with it. Him or mom, so been blessed in that aspect. But
Yeah. Man, about a month in, like I said, that I agree with you, that 10 days.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I got to get back. Like, I want to do something.
they need me.
Yes. Bro, that's really funny that you said that because it kind of goes into what I'm going to bring to you. So, 10 days and then a month. In that month, you start to figure out that this thing that you love and cherish and exist in, the fire service, and you feel like your role in it is important. Like you poured your heart into this thing and you care about it, so you feel like you're needed to be around. And then you start to realize, like, this rock is just spinning, and going, and it's going to keep right on going without you. There's a little bit of peace in realizing that, you know what, this whole thing's going to keep going on. The whatever I was passionate about or liked or disliked, it really doesn't matter to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, it's not to say that you can't improve and bring something great to your department, but for me, it was kind of nice to. The silver lining in the whole thing was this great reset for me. Like, I was able to realize that this rock keeps on spinning, and there's a lot more to life. You know, there's so much going on, and you can find yourself focused in on this one thing, and then you get pulled away from it for a couple of months. It's like, oh, nothing changed. You know, like, it didn't quit moving. I was able to focus on some other stuff. I really think it might be a healthy thing to take a minute away. Vacation time is accrued for a reason.
Sure.
So don't just save that shit up for some hypothetical early retirement. Get you a 2-week vacation.
Hell,
Go
dude,
do
by
something.
the time any of us get there, or anybody who's listening, I mean, you spend all this time saving all this money. Think about the moments and the memories that you've missed all along the way that you didn't take because of this, what you're hoping for 2 years off the end of your 30 years or whatever it may be. So 28 years, hell, you could even go down to 25 if you for some reason had that much time. But in a 25-year span, think of how many moments and memories you missed or didn't allow yourself to reset because you were trying to hoard this time.
Yeah.
My dad's a prime example.
Yeah?
Yeah, so he worked for a trucking company here. That's why we moved here, and he worked 7 days a week. Like, he was always doing something. They had to line up drivers for the whole week, for the next week. He'd take calls. Even on Sundays, he'd go and just check the office and stuff. So, and he did that for, 30, 40 years. But, and he was always worried that if he doesn't, they're just going to find somebody to replace him. He's going to lose his job. He did have some setbacks because the way the company did him a little bit, back in the day, so it kind of made him a little paranoid. But he worked 7 days a week. I don't even know what his time frame was for retirement. He was 64 when he got that cancer diagnosis, and then he wasn't able to work anymore. That was a silver lining. He got to actually stop. Instead of just, working 7 days a week, dropping dead of a heart attack.
Right.
He got 5 months with my mom all the time, like to spend a lot of time with her. Even though it sucked, he was going through chemo and radiation, and he, kind of wasted away, and then eventually died. But that's going to what you say, like, and then the company, he had his hands around it, like it's going to fall apart if I don't control it. I mean, they had his replacement. His replacement was already there. I mean, it was one that he worked with for a long time. Ray was the natural next step, but the ship kept on rolling without him. He tried to work from home and have him set up stuff, and they gave him a computer, but he just didn't really do much with it. And I mean, the company's moved. The company's onward and upward, and he wasted. I don't know if he would agree if he wasted his time, but he could have taken more time off. And I still follow his replacement, and his replacement's younger. He's probably in his late 40s, and he's they're constantly going on vacation.
Yeah,
and he's constantly home with the kids. He's got big boat. He doesn't control it as much. So yeah,
there's lessons to be learned.
Yeah, I think one of the common misconceptions with a lot of us is we feel, that we're a spoke in this wheel. That whatever, for us, it's the fire service. So we're in our own departments. We're the spoke in this wheel, and if you remove the spoke, it weakens the wheel and possibly could fall apart. When the reality is we're not even a grain of sand stuck in the tread.
Right.
That mamma jam is going to keep right on getting it. And they say that a lot of military guys coming out of, retiring out or moving on. You disappeared.
I did. That was crazy.
They said that's one of their problems. A lot of things that they mentally struggle with is the team going to be able to, you hear it a lot in the special operations community, but is the team going to, are they going to make it without me? Well, the reality is yes, But that's a hard realization sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, that's where they get a lot of late suicides after the guys close to retirement or they get to retirement and have such depression because life moved on without them. And I think there's a quote
now. Yeah,
there's a quote that I can't remember what it's like. Don't work yourself to death of a job that will have your replacement in 5 minutes or something like that.
Bro, Stanley posted that like 2 weeks before he died.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
There's truth in it.
There's definitely truth in it. We've had this conversation before in the past, and I'll try not to divert back to it. But that replacement thing it's starting to be a problem.
what do you mean?
Just replacing any of us is starting to be a problem.
I mean, the company's got to move on.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
to an extent, I guess.
yeah. When I let go of all the Zone 2 stuff and everything I was doing when I left full time, it was weird. And I gave them lots of notice to try to transition that stuff off. But I mean, I gave them plenty. Like, they didn't really need it. And
Yeah. You know, there's two sides to every story, or
Sure.
two sides to a coin. So I'm sitting here saying, like, take some time off. Like, your role feels so important.
Yeah.
And then, staying away, you realize that there are other aspects to your own life. The other side of that is departments all over push people out that are very important to that department. So it's not so easy as you are replaceable. The truth is you will get replaced. Is that with a quality individual or not?
Or,
Yeah, I think that's where that's the area I was headed down. Is
Imagine in the last, I'll throw some hypotheticals, but we lost King on the line. Imagine taking Ben Bob out. We lost Merrill.
yeah,
These are
Jay Little back in the day.
gosh, Jay Little,
Yeah.
Lieutenant Little.
Dude, I could keep on.
The qualities and just Jay Little, like his knowledge, his just state of being was so cool. You can't replace that,
Well, I mean, it's proof of it. I mean, he's been out now for God. It's got to be going on a decade. Got to be going on it.
no, he was around with Captain Heath.
So
It was
that's
a couple. It was
13.
a year to a couple years after Heath.
Yeah, well, that was 2013, right?
Yeah.
So it's getting on a decade.
Getting on it.
Yeah.
It's getting on a decade, but we're still talking, and we're talking about him now.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's relevant, right?
Yeah.
How many other people have left that? I mean, you have to try to dig in your brain to figure out who they were. They're not standout characters like that.
I still
So,
tell Steve Snyder stories.
yeah, I see him all the time. So. He's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a character.
Yeah, Lieutenant. We almost lost Ben Bob. Remember, he was going to go to
Yeah,
Cary.
he's going to carry.
Yeah. If you don't know who Ben Bob is, one of our
Episode 3.
3 or
Yeah,
4.
episode 3,
3
yeah.
or 4.
Yeah.
Early episode. Yeah, he's
but-
due. By the way,
Yeah,
time for a revisit for sure.
that's a great idea. But definitely one of the lead company officers in the department.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of. I know Jeremy, you were on shift with him for a while, weren't you? Weren't you on shift under Ben Bob? Maybe that's. See, Blake had a bunch of those guys under him. He had Ben Bob under him. He had
Saunders,
Saunders
right?
under
Yeah.
him.
You?
Well, I don't count.
Right.
I don't count. But yeah, he's had a lot of great people in our department under him.
Ben and I started. Well, he was already volunteering at Merle Grove when I got there, but he was
Right.
only for like 6 months.
I got you,
And he's always been standout, even in his young years.
dude. This will be episode 31.
And almost a year when we released that first one.
Yeah, I think we're a touch over a year now, right?
Started this, but I think the first episode was in December that we released.
Oh wow. Okay, that's good. Shoo, what an interesting ride it's been. I plan on sometime in January having a nice recap show somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll put some flossy thing together to put on social media or something. But,
I like it.
but shoo, we've had some talent at this table
Yeah, I've learned a lot.
for sure, dude.
What are your top 3?
Ooh, I don't want to call anybody out like that. Dude, I don't know. I've enjoyed every single guests that we've had down here for sure. And I've enjoyed the episodes that we haven't had guests, like we're doing right now, a bro session, if you will. But I've enjoyed a lot of the sessions that we have that never made it to air, because there was a bunch of those. You remember in the beginning, dude, we had piles of those where we were trying to figure out sounds and figure out flow and camera positions and this and that. God.
Some drunken shenanigans.
Dude, a lot of drunken shenanigans. After parties that never made it air.
Dude, I had Ray and Ethan in here, and I was drunk, and they were drunk, and we went into like a full, like, kitchen table. Nobody was safe.
A bitching session.
We bashed everybody. I was like, well, I better delete that shit. Yeah, that was a good fun run.
Yeah, poor Ray. He's so unlucky. I pulled some stuff to do on his shows the other day, and I'm missing both of these camera views, the audio file, everything. Just I don't know what happened. I put it all on the hard drive before I left, and now it's gone.
It might still be on the computer.
Dude, he's so unlucky.
Not the video.
I guess we're just going to have to get him back in here again.
Yeah, he was just texting me.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we'll get him in here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it was cool when I at the PFF PNC conference I was just at. Like, there's a lot of people talking about the show.
That's good, man.
Yeah, a lot of
Hope
people.
It's positive.
Yeah, very positive. You know, some of the guests that we've had on, they kind of told me how they had people approach them after their episodes, and people that were suicidal and depressed, and opened up to them and got to get them some help. You know, and they're still walking around now because of that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how to take that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. But I mean, that was it's part of the focus from day one. And as the show grows and, you know, different components come into making the show what it is, I don't foresee any of us ever. I mean, even Jeremy, when you leave to go full time into school, I mean, I don't see that ever shifting our focus.
No.
Yeah, that means a lot. That's incredible. That's incredible. We've had some pretty polarizing folks on too. I mean, some incredible stories. That's great, man.
It's a valuable thing to make it okay for somebody to just make a phone call or reach out for help from whoever. You know, like it's nice for it to be outside of any sort of, what's the most popular thing you've heard in fire service stuff in the last 3-4 years is data driven, this, that, and the other thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I don't care anything about data. Like, just if you find yourself in a spot, call a buddy, call somebody that's been on the show that talks about it, that you know it's a safe spot.
Sure.
But yeah, it's nice that it's outside of any of this trackable. I don't need any of that stuff. You know what I mean? I just want to make it normal to be like, you know what, this week was shit.
Well, I don't mean to sound condescending or controversial by any means, but I mean, when it comes down to it, when you get outside of administration staff and folks aspiring to be administration staff, data doesn't make a shit to any of us.
Yeah, it doesn't put fires out.
Yeah, it's relatability to us.
I mean, it's important. It has its place.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, if you want money in the budget,
Absolutely.
you got to show people who don't know our job what this looks like. Here's the data to show it. Okay, cool. But yeah, it doesn't.
I have zero disagreements on that. Whatsoever.
It's not personable.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's not relatable. Yeah. I don't disagree. It's got its place. I'm glad there's people that are passionate about it, because if they were reliant on somebody like me, our budget would equal zero every year. No way we're giving y'all money. What do you do with it? I don't know. We pay some people, get some trucks. I just died.
You died.
Bruh. There we go.
Some of that magic. You put magic back on it.
PFM.
Yeah.
What's it look like for us going? Well, of course, we got some good guests coming up before the end of the year. Some interesting folks. Yes, y'all stay tuned in for that, for sure.
Spoiler alert. Josh Bozio's coming on the show.
Oh, call out. Yeah, that'll be good. Josh will be fun. It'll be nice to get a guy who's about 17 years old, rode the coattails of his father, do his whole career in here. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
You hear this? No, I'm kidding. Obviously. Nah, great dude.
Yeah.
Great dude.
We just had our 11-year academy graduation
Wow.
anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think if you scroll back through my personal Facebook page, I can find some pictures of your academy. Like running laps or doing something. I think so.
Nice.
I have to send you those.
Yeah. Ray's got some pictures on his Facebook, too.
I'm sure.
Steve Snyder didn't take pictures of us. He just made us throw up a lot.
He didn't take pictures of my class either.
Yeah.
Of course, my class was before camera phones were a thing.
I was getting ready to say that's probably before.
Wow. Yeah, talk about making you feel old. The new guy on the back of my truck, 19 years old.
Ooh.
Dude. So, zero lineage in the fire service at all whatsoever, I think, is what he said, best I can remember. Normally when he talks, I don't listen. But, I'm just kidding.
Hasn't seen Backdraft.
That's a joke. Yeah, hasn't seen Backdraft, hadn't seen Ladder 49. It's much garbage as that is. He hadn't seen it. Backdraft is obviously real. Ladder 49 is not. But
How else do you get to learn how to throw a fire extinguisher like a grenade?
yeah, no doubt. But
Don't learn that in the textbook.
dude, it was like we were just a small conversation, and I was like, "So, 19, so that puts you born?" He was like, "Yeah, 2003." I was like, "Have you ever heard of 9/11?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Yes." I was like, "Well, what do you know?" It's just wow, man. That's
all the kids I'm in school with right now.
that's what we got to look forward to.
Yeah, they're all that old.
Yeah, I'm lucky though. He's getting better every day. He has to be checked a little less every day, so that's good.
Right.
That's
Did he
good.
volunteer somewhere before?
Bethany,
Oh, so he's one of Chief Hall's guys.
he went right to it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. They came from the same department. They never met each other
Well,
until
obviously
the
not,
other
because
day.
Chief Hall's been gone from there.
Yeah.
Well, he still lives in that area, right?
Chief-
No, he doesn't. No, his
family.
parents.
Yep.
He's still got the family.
He's still
land
got
there.
some family over there. Yep.
The farm.
Yep. But yeah, that's the thing with him. There's a lot of people said that. Everybody knows he's from Bethany. Says
Yep.
that. Oh, one of Chief Hall's boys. Know how you got the job.
That'll help a reputation.
Yeah, something like that. But no, he's been a learning curve for me. He's smart, thank God, but he doesn't feel like he deserves anything yet. So
Right.
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, we hadn't had too many heart to hearts yet. We had our mop the floor conversation, and that's about it. We grabbed the mop and wanted to try to mop the floor. I was like, no,
That's my job.
yeah, don't touch the mop.
It's a 4 a.m. Hoffman job.
Ever. Don't
Yeah.
ever touch the mop. Well, why? And then we had to get into that. So, but that's okay. So I'm like, nope, your job is in this kitchen right here.
Have you had any fires with him yet?
Oh, of course not. Of course not. I'm sure it'll be fine. We've done some pretty good. We've done some pretty good training. You know, the best we can do outside of actual live fire. So
You know how many first due fires I've missed in my time away?
probably
0.
none. Yeah, probably none.
Yeah.
Probably none.
That feels pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
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 I hope you come
You're not
back
missing
and we
out.
burn the world down.
Yeah. We're going to start tomorrow.
I hope so. After 5.
After
'Cause-
9, at least.
Well, after 5. That's when I'll be there. It's
Okay.
After
All
5.
right. After 5 it is.
I have to have a COVID test before I go back. Yeah. Sore subject.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sore subject. But
I think I passed my test today.
I feel positive.
Yeah. They sent me a text message that had a link. I clicked on it, and it doesn't do anything. So,
Nice.
yeah. I was like,
I know what it
Okay.
does do, though.
let me go to work and not get written up.
That's right.
Yep.
It's
Perfect.
yeah.
That's all I
I
needed.
don't even know
today.
if they care if you pass or fail. They just want to know that you participated.
Yeah.
So silly.
Yeah. Did you jump through the hoop?
That's right.
Yes.
That was a big hot topic that Ed Kelly, the IFF president, and
Yeah.
Frank Lima, the GST, talked about the mandates that the IFF is fighting right now. They were in New York last week, and they're in Seattle tonight. I can remember how many Seattle firemen are facing layoff or already laid off. They've got some I can't remember what they called it, cease and desist. They've got some whatever lawyer stuff, courts filed on a few places, but
I wonder how
it's a
that's
tough battle.
going.
It's a tough battle. There's precedents set from like I think there's a Supreme Court ruling from like 1905 during a pandemic.
I know that a new, like recent history in the last few days, a judge ordered that what the Biden administration is doing with these mandates is not constitutional. And then they just were marching on like that didn't exist. So there's some new shit that's coming to light.
And they're trying to get, well, I guess, with these OSHA states that you can't just give a one-size-fits-all. You know, what affects Charlotte doesn't affect Wilmington as much, or Raleigh, or Botankus, you know.
Yeah.
Each place has got high COVID rates. Some have low. Some have high vaccine rates. Some have low.
But it's typical government to do the shotgun effect.
Yeah.
What the shotgun effect is. We got a minute problem rather than trying to find pinpoint solutions that work.
Yeah.
You know, we just what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and that's going to be the way it is.
And I think the big message I've been sending to people is like, you've got to give. You can't just all of a sudden just mandate. You got 9 days to make, like New York. You got 9 days to make a decision. We've been working nonstop in the pandemic with like barely anything. You know, they were, loading up refrigerator trucks full of bodies up there. They were given like power to like declare people dead and just throw them in a truck. So long working without a vaccine with less protection, and all of a sudden it's like, nope, now you got 9 days. Make a decision or walk. And so there's like, that's the biggest thing is they're trying to tell these leaders, like, you've got to give time to talk.
My thing is the whole push on the vaccine, this is from local government, is been health. It's been health the whole time. It's health for you. It's health for me. It's health. Well, just like you just stated with the same thing that's going on in New York, when we were working, so much to the fact that we were appreciated for the extra work we did via pay compensation, that our health just didn't seem to be that big of a deal then. But it's such a big deal now that it's affecting my everyday life when I'm off of work. Like I have to schedule my testing days to fall in my 7-day window, and that can, if I take the first day or the last day of a tour off, that 7-day window is affected, because then I have to travel. Now, I'm unique because I live outside of the county. That's my choice. I'm not saying that. But even if you lived in county, you have to take time on your own off of work to go do that before you can go back to work. So now they're controlling your off time. And I can't think of, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody else and put it in a different situation. A county commissioner or a county manager, they can't drink alcohol while they're on the clock. But when they get off of work, they're at liberty to do whatever they want. Well, I'm not like that when it comes to COVID and getting these tests. So I don't understand. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. And I've never felt my individual liberties be so pushed to the side as I have recently. And I mean, I'll play your game and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. I'll completely understand and comply to having a negative COVID test prior to coming back to work, but not to the point where I'm being contacted on days off because I'm outside of a 7-day window. I haven't reported back to work. So why does it, why does it matter? Why does it matter? So that's my biggest gripe, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to anybody else?
It does. I was riding down the road today thinking about this, how hard it's being pushed, And I was like, nobody's ever made me go to PTs. You know what I mean? Nobody's ever been like, get your ass down to PTs and get that burger. You know why?
I felt that way sometimes, but
yeah. You did it to us.
I've made people go to PTs.
Yeah.
It's good. Like anything good, you don't have. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna grab a fresh can too.
Dude, don't interrupt your thought for that.
Well,
don't ruin great.
The completion of that is it's being pushed so hard. It makes the people like myself who haven't gotten vaccinated. That's like, why is it being pushed so hard? Like, a cheeseburger is good. I'll go just get it. But this thing you're pushing so hard, it's like something's up. Just doesn't pass the smell test.
To me, that the end goal has not been defined. What's the end goal? Do you want 100% vaccinated employees? Is that the end goal? And if it is, say that.
They can't.
They can't. Exactly. So what is the end goal?
I'll tell you what I think the end goal is. The The end goal is perpetual patience. So now you got the vaccine. Well, that doesn't count. You got to get the booster. And the booster 3 now is not good because the next variant's coming out. So now you're back to being unvaccinated. You need the booster 4, 5, 7, 10, whatever. Like, they've got this control thing. People love control. I like having control.
Yeah, sure.
But that's my personal opinion. I think that's what this whole thing's about. I don't know.
And even still, if that's the end goal, then that's fine.
So what do you think
But
the
just
motive
tell
is?
me.
Like
Tell me.
financial ties to drug companies? Like probably
I'm sure that's a little bit of it. That and just good old-fashioned power.
just better.
Yeah. Imagine being the guy in the castle that gets to dictate and rule and tell everybody what you got to do. You can't go to work unless you follow my orders. That's got to feel fucking good to somebody. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They won't even consider, like, I've had COVID.
I have to sometime down the line.
So now I'm loaded up full of these antibodies and memory B cells. I'm not good on my science. Yeah, thanks.
Memory B cells, yes.
Yeah. So, but that
device.
doesn't count, because I guess there wasn't a financial gain. Somebody didn't get to profit off of my memory Bs. So there's oil in the water somewhere. Something's up. Yeah.
I mean, they say that antibody immunity wanes eventually, kind of like colds. You build up antibodies. It's high, but somewhere around 3 months is when it kind of loses its effectiveness. Some you'll have immunities forever, but some wane. So I haven't really studied much on there's really not much data. They're studying now. I mean, they have studies now, but
it's just weird that they don't even consider it. Like, let's say it does wane after 3 or 6 or 12 months.
It's that shotgun, one size fits all.
Yeah. This month I'm a stud. Like,
Got them thick lines.
I got the thick lines. Yeah. So
It's laziness.
Yeah. Until I see fairness, I'm not going to participate.
They haven't portrayed a message to me yet that resonates where it actually is my safety that is they're concerned, my health. Everything has not felt like my best interest. They are trying to do what's best for my best interest. I haven't felt that genuine feeling of, well, it's like the progression in turnout gear or the progression in nozzle technology, hose technology. That feels good to me. There's money in it, sure. There's a race to be the top of those industries. Both of those examples, all 3 of those examples that I just gave you. But the end goal is still, and the thought is still to make me better at my job, to keep me healthier, to keep me safer, and to provide me aid in providing the service that we do more effectively. That's the end goal for all of them. There's money along the way, and that's why they have a business. But you don't see a hose company coming up with some brand new hose without any kind of data backing their product and just saying this is the best. You got to have it, or
we're shutting your shit
or
down.
we're shutting your department down. Yeah. So, or if you choose not to run this type of nozzle, you can't be on this hose line.
Yeah, for the next 7 days.
You can go to another hose line and run that one, but not this one. COVID talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Boring.
got a call today in reference to my COVID status. I've been off work.
That is the most ridiculous. And they fired all those part timers that weren't working. If let's say if
My thing is,
if
I
you're
don't think
if you
any of them refused it.
If you show up, if you take one, you know you're going to be working, and they require you to have one within so many days of returning to work. Yeah, but to make you guys come in, even if you're off,
That's right. If, like I said,
forcing you to come in on your off days.
if
Are they
you're-
paying? Can you clock it? Can you log it into Telestaff?
No, you will not be paid. Here's my thing: if you can get, if I'm outside of my 7-day COVID window, and I come in and I'm ready to come back to work in the testing center now, because the testing center hours are so constricted now. It's not 8 to 5 anymore. It's like 2 hours. It's weird, very weird. Today, 11 to 2. That was the testing center hours. Most days it's 4:30 to 6:30. I get that. Accommodate people getting off work. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Nobody wants to go get tested right after they get off work trying to get to the house. So, but anyway, so if the testing center doesn't open till 4:30, I'm outside of my 7-day window. Why can't I take personal time up into that time? Mm-hmm. That's a problem. Yeah. You see, the problem starts when you get past that 7-day window. It's a phone call immediately.
Who? From who? The county or
yes.
not fire? Right?
No.
Because fire doesn't know.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Nor do they care. This is no fault of county fire whatsoever. I have no quorums with them at all. It is all 100% county. Like me today, I'm off tomorrow till I go get a COVID test. But I was contacted today and asked if I had a test. And I said, no, I haven't had a test yet. It was a misunderstanding in my schedule and the way that the testing center was closed last week due to the holiday. I'll take fault in it, whatever. I was like, it's fine. I'll just take personal time. Until then, I'll get a COVID test and I'll just come back to work. The reply was, okay, I hope it's that easy.
Yeah, weird.
I'm fully expecting to be written up for it, even though I have not reported for duty without a test.
Okay, I hope it's that easy.
Yeah. That's what I'm anticipating. And we don't have to air this by any means, but if I get written up tomorrow, it'll be relevant.
Right.
Yeah, Stuff was telling me that anybody can just leave shift to go get their COVID test.
Absolutely.
Without telling them?
No.
Like they're not supposed to tell them? And like all of a sudden you're downing a company.
That's right. Your customer service goes away.
Yeah.
And I know officers that
for several hours.
You're an example. Yes.
And then it could be multiple companies because you don't know who's leaving, who's
going. Think about it. If you handcuff it to 2 hours a day, and a shift, like we get on a rotation. If you go the last day of every tour, you're good. You stay in your 7-day window, you're square, everything's fine. Okay, well, if everybody on your shift goes that, so you're going to have the possibility of having several companies down to 2. Yeah. What's that do for your customer service?
Between the hours of 11 and 2, which is prime.
Most of the time it's 4 to 6. If you'll run data and figure out when our highest call volume is.
Yeah.
Hello. I'd like to think I'm a logical guy for the most part. And I can do things that I don't agree with. That's fine. You just have to do a semi-good job at explaining to me why. Doesn't even have to be great. Just semi-good.
Yeah.
Is the city doing anything similar?
I have no idea what they're doing.
I've never heard anything.
But the sheriff's department runs around with their shirts off. I'm just trying hyperbole there.
Oh.
No mask, no vaccines,
nothing.
They just run around with their shirts off.
I know the city is doing some forced OT right now.
Yes. Keith was talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moon just got forced.
Forced OT. Mm-hmm. No, he didn't call it forced OT, he called it mandatory overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because nobody likes forced lingo. Remember that? They didn't like us calling it being forced. Mm-hmm. We don't like that. It's holding over. I'm like, we're forced to stay here.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't leave.
Stop. Yeah, stop sugarcoating it.
That's why I keep an unopened beer in my car.
Shit, I already drank.
Yeah, sorry. 701. My bad.
Yep. Kegs and eggs.
I have a problem.
Yep. Yeah. This is not cold at all. That's my problem.
Oh, my God. It's craziness, man. Strange times. I'm interested to see how long it's going to last.
I mean, we're seeing declines in numbers. I'm hoping that's going to be the trend. Mm-hmm. Now they're talking about this Delta Plus coming in. I don't know the exact variant on this one. I thought that the vaccine was still providing some protection of that, which would, in theory, mean the antibodies you have and I have, we should help with that. But I don't know.
Your Basil Hayden's good.
Yeah, that's some things. Listeners can start pitching new ideas for bourbons. Our shelf it's full of some interesting things. Mm-hmm. So we need them to keep sending those suggestions. We take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We use them. Josh Chambliss has sent me a handful of good ones.
Oh yeah,
He's a bourbon.
He's a connoisseur.
What's a good word?
Sommelier or sommelier.
Sommelier.
I want to hear you say it.
He's an enthusiast.
He's a bourbon enthusiast.
Enthusiast.
It's a good part to bring that show back. And
Bourbon nerd. He's a bourbon nerd.
There you go, bourbon nerd. Yeah. There's a local place that does gin and stuff like that, and apparently they
End
just
of Days.
That's it. EOD.
Yeah, End of Days Distillery.
Yeah, they just came out with a bourbon or a whiskey or something. We're gonna have to try that.
Yeah, they're right there on Castle Street. Right.
Hello,
Castle 17th ish.
Can't be brewing stuff in our backyard and us not know about it.
I know. Yeah,
That ain't how this works.
it's right there.
Yeah. Wasn't on Yellowstone. Nothing happens in this valley without me knowing about it.
That's another show I apparently got to start watching.
You haven't watched any of that?
No,
Don't.
that's what they were talking about last night at the convention.
You'll be hooked. Don't. It's a great show. Did you ever watch Sons of Anarchy?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the Western version of Sons of Anarchy. And I can tell you why, but I don't want to be a spoiler alert. There's a character in... It won't really matter. There's a character in Yellowstone. His name is Travis. I don't think you end up seeing him until maybe the third season or something like that, but he's the writer for Yellowstone. He was the cop, one of the cops in Sons of Anarchy on seasons 1 through 3.
Oh, okay.
So the darkness, that's why I get I just found this out like 2 days ago. My mind was blown because I've been telling Holly from the get-go. I was like, isn't this just like the Western version of Sons of Anarchy? And she's like, yeah, there's a lot of similarities. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. The writer played in Sons of Anarchy. So pretty cool. Fun fact, kids.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of what you're talking about, so I'm out.
I'm getting ready to have a month break from school, so I will definitely fill it with some Yellowstone.
Yeah.
If you've never watched Sons of Anarchy, I suggest it.
You've never watched Sons of Anarchy?
There's only 9 seasons. If you binge it, you can be through it in like 6 days.
It gets weird in the end, like all shows normally do. But
Is it zombies?
no,
It's like a
motorcycle gang.
motorcycle gang.
It's
good.
Like a 1%er, like Hell's Angels type, but they're based out of California, and it's just drama, violence.
You'll enjoy it.
It's very
All
good.
right.
You would enjoy it. And then Yellowstone is the Western version of that. So cattle farming, same thing.
All right.
So rival cowboy gangs.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Ish, kind of.
Is it
land disputes?
When
basically.
When does it take place? What era?
Oh, it's modern.
Oh, it's modern. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's modern. It's a walking Dodge commercial. I mean, it's airs every. Yeah, it's they still ride horses, but it's
And Dodge trucks.
But that's it. I mean, they still ride horses out there in Montana and Utah. The cattle farmers still use that. We don't do that here.
Right.
Funny story, by the way. Little caveat here. So I was in the shop working on a table the other evening. It got to be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My big bay door's open on my shop, and I just happened to be looking out the bay door, and a calf shoots across my backyard into the bean field. Pew! I was like, odd. And then this Nissan Maxima, black Nissan Maxima, flying down the farm path across the bean field after this cow. And I was like, weird. So my neighbors earlier that day, they're Hispanics. They live across the street. But they were pulling like these 6x6 posts out the back of their car. My mind says that they were trying to, they were going to build a place to put a calf so they can raise it and probably kill it and eat it. Good on them. Yeah. That's perfect. I like the idea. And they just didn't know anything about cows or calves, and it had got loose and they were chasing
Probably
it.
use some chicken wire.
Yeah, but so that's where my brain was going. And then my dog is after the Maxima. Don't care about the calf. She's after the Maxima. She's gone. So I kind of watched this unfold for a few seconds. I step outside my shop, and I'm looking out there in the field. And, I mean, they're probably several hundred yards away by now. So I'm kind of watching this unfold, and they're out there, doing this number, trying to get the calf to, like, turn around and go back.
In the Maxima?
Yeah, well, one's in the Maxima, one's out. And they're doing this.
I thought you were going to say the cow went back into Maxima.
No. They were doing this, trying to get the cow to go back the other way. And I was like, well, that's not going to work. But I just kept my mouth shut for a little bit and didn't participate. And then several minutes went by, and the calf started running the opposite way again. So I got my truck, and I went down there, and I picked the little Mexican boy up, and I was like, hey, when I stop the truck, make sure the truck, I said, when I jump out of the truck, make sure the truck stops. He said, okay. I said, and then there's a strap in the back of the truck. Bring me that strap. So we get up. So I gun it, get up beside the calf, kick my door open. I'm riding halfway in the seat, halfway out of the seat. So we get up beside the calf. He gets just behind me just a little bit. So I dump it. Boom, and I'm out of the truck. And I jump down, grab it, get it on the ground. Got my knee in its neck, just waiting. And so he does. He stops the truck, puts it in park, gets out, gets the strap. I hobble its legs together. We put it in the bed of the truck, and it's going nuts, obviously. Mm-hmm. And the poor little Mexican boy, I don't think he had any idea that this was going on. I mean, that cow was raising hell, right? And it's got to be maximum 2 days old, maximum. So it's, that thing's over back there going nuts. Come to find out, it's not even his cow.
You stole a cow from something?
No, it's not even his cow.
Oh. He stole a kid.
There is cows across the street from me, across the road from me. Mm-hmm. One of them had just gotten out, and he was trying to be Good Samaritan and go get it. So, funny story, but it was weird.
It'd be funny if you were like aiding and abetting them stealing a calf.
No, that would have been funnier. Yeah. Maybe a not so great of a climax to the story, but it was just funny how it happened. It was cow, Maxima, dog.
Only in Botangas.
Typical Friday.
Did you make the front page of the paper?
Nah, dude, we ain't got no paper.
Yeah.
We got no paper.
I remember when I was in either middle school or high school, I went to this church retreat at one of those like youth weekends. I can't remember where it was. Somewhere towards the mountains. There's a field nearby with cows in it. So that was the biggest thing. Us city guys, the city kids, were like, let's go cow tipping.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
It didn't work out so well. I think I ended up like almost breaking my ankle, and yeah.
Cows don't sleep standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're driving through the country, you see them all laying down.
Yeah.
Well, we had no clue.
I know. I don't want to spoil it for the future cow tippers out there, but that's a great idea. You should go up to that cow and try to push it over. It's a great idea. In the dark when it can't see you. It's a great idea.
Walk up from behind.
Yeah. Perfect idea. Yeah. It's totally asleep.
Yeah. Cow tipping.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cow tipping.
Cow tipping, snipe hunting.
Snipe hunting. That's a real thing.
That's big in Scouts.
That's a real bird.
Yeah, we teach that.
It's a real bird. Mm-hmm. Google it.
Yeah. You got to stand there with that duffel bag open.
Yep. We use pillowcases.
Yeah, pillowcase, sleeping bag sometimes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And wait.
Yep. You got
to be quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're not quiet, it won't work. I hope next show I'm telling you about the multiple first two fires that we've gotten since I've been back.
Ooh. Yeah, me too. That'll be Sunday, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, Sunday evening.
So we need to run 2 tomorrow after 5.
Yes. 2 on Saturday. 3 on Saturday.
Okay.
Whatever. All day Saturday. Be fine with me.
Yeah. At least 2 per shift would be
as long
great.
as it's not a hopper fire at LP.
Yeah.
That's what
Were you have that win on that one?
No, thank God. Boring.
Yeah.
I've played that game before. I've been over there twice.
Yeah. I've done it once.
Boring.
Just sticking a hose on to just letting it carry up the chute. Just a lot of standing around.
Yep. There's a lot of fire in that hopper, and
Yep.
for some reason they won't let me get inside of that. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to be. That would not be a good idea.
I still want to be in it.
Yeah. If there's fire in there.
Yeah. You want to cut this one off?
Yeah, I'm ready to go
shut her down.
What's up, gang? It's Matt from Primary Complete. We've been getting a lot of questions from folks wanting to know how they can support the show. Honestly, it's crazy to us that people are even interested in this. But to answer the question, there are several ways. The biggest way is whatever platform you choose to listen to the show, rate it and leave a comment. The more 5-star ratings we get and comments we get, the more our show is exposed on these platforms. Another is just talking to your friends. If you're sitting at the Firehouse kitchen table and somebody shares a situation or something they're going through, and you can remember a guest that we had or a past episode they may benefit from hearing, just suggest it to them. Lastly, if you feel so inclined, there's a donation link on the Primary Complete podcast website. We can't possibly say thank you enough for all the love and support that you have sent our way. It's humbling to say the least, and we are continually grateful.